Okay, so I get this question all the time. Why can't my child just behave himself or behave herself? What is going on? Well, quite a number of things can actually be going on. Today we will just discuss a few of them, at least four of them. One, brain chemistry or biochemistry. Sometimes what needs to happen is that the child needs to have some kind of medical examination or medical test done. Is it that their thyroid gland is malfunctioning or adrenaline problem? Or maybe it's a serotonin or a dopamine problem. Serotonin produced in the gut and in the brain, and it's responsible for levels of happiness and feeling good. And we have dopamine that is responsible for a number of things, one being motivation to do something again and again and again. So the question is, if it is that biochemistry is affected in the child's body, what could that do for behavior? Well, it's obvious. They may not behave the way that a typical child may be behaving or functioning given the fact that they have a medical condition or at least some kind of medical dysregulation that once checked out and given the appropriate medication could solve a lot of the behavioral problems that you may be seeing in the child. Another thing we want to talk about has to do with environmental factors. Exactly why is this child behaving this way? Okay, well, think about it. Is it that it's too dark? Is it's too bright? Maybe there is a lot of noise that is going on. Is it that they're in the classroom and there's another child who might be bullying them or threatening them? Or is it that they themselves may not be feeling that they really belong in a specific environment because it might be a little confusing for them, desks and chairs and things are just all over the place? So environmental factors can actually contribute significantly to how a child may behave or how they may be reacting to another person, an authority, other children, as the case may be. A third area I want to talk about has to do with nutrition. Now it's true. I'm not a medical practitioner, so I'm not going to tell you that you need to have all your green leafy vegetables. For example, with me, I see some kinds of vegetables coming this way and I'm going this way. Coming back. However, there are some nutrition that I think every child needs. Regardless of if you're a medical practitioner or not, it just makes good sense. So, proteins, carbohydrates, but of course, talk to a medical doctor before you decide how much of a specific diet to put your child on. One thing though, I want to point out, I understand that a few persons are a little confused with regards to whether or not sugars are good for children, especially children who might be demonstrating hyperactivity or impulsive problems. Well, at least glucose. People need glucose in order to self-regulate to a significant degree. If our brains are lacking glucose, our energy levels can be affected. Now, think about this. A child is trying to pay attention to what is going on in the classroom, trying to read what is on the board, or probably at home trying to follow your directions or the specific task that you give them. They're trying to complete it, but they are extremely tired. Why? Because their bodies are lacking glucose. So sometimes we tell ourselves, let's remove this completely from the child's diet and the child will start self-regulating. Not necessarily the case. But again, talk to a medical practitioner before you make a decision as to how much, how little to give your child when it comes to dietary products. The fourth thing, it has to do with mental health issues. You heard it right. Mental health issues. A number of our children are experiencing mental health issues, and it has to definitely not be something that we quietly talk about in the corner, but this is something we need to talk about in the open. To what extent are our children being affected by anxiety disorders or hyperactive disorders or neurodevelopmental disorders, depression, and the list can go on and on. Again, if you observe that your child is, especially for their specific age and where they are at in terms of body development. You tell yourself, wait a minute, I'm not too sure, something is not looking right here. They're not processing what I'm saying as quickly as I think they should be processing, given the fact that, you know, I probably know of other children this age who are a little fast in processing, or I had children before and they were able to understand what I'm saying, they were able to cooperate with authority, they weren't aggressive as this particular child is. Now, it may be nothing. It might just be the phase, it might just be a one-time trigger that the child is experiencing, but to be on the safe side, check it out. Take note, talk to someone, talk to a psychologist, talk to a psychiatrist, and get a counselor and get the needed assistance. So it is true, a number of things can affect a child's behavior, and we really need to zero down. Sometimes it's just one thing, sometimes it can be 2 or 3, the list may go on and on, but to be on the safe side, to know exactly what is affecting the child, try to find out, talk to someone. So, all the best. Take care.